Hi guys, welcome to Hoops Junction. Vladimir here, and today we're talking about Carmelo Anthony. He just finished a three-peat for gold medals. He's on a high, an Olympic high, and everybody's asking, what's the difference between Carmelo Anthony in the Olympic team and Carmelo Anthony playing with the Knicks? For some reason, everybody feels like Carmelo Anthony plays differently. It's like he's a lot better on the Olympic team, on Team USA, rather than when he's playing with the Knicks or when he used to play on the Denver Nuggets. Everybody's trying to figure out, the difference. Like, what's the difference? And I'm here to tell you today, there is no difference. Carmelo Anthony plays the same way, the same exact way on both teams. The only difference is the supporting cast. You gotta understand this. On the New York Knicks, Carmelo Anthony, pretty much, he hasn't really been paired up with the optimal amount of talent. Like, you got to think about it. His point guard was the older Jason Kidd. Then he had a Prigioni who could barely get any penetration. Then you got to look all the years that's been passing. He hasn't really been paired up with the talent that Team USA has. For example, on Team USA, he has a point guard in Kyrie Irving. Before that, he had a point guard in Chris Paul. See what I'm saying? You see the difference? Like, that's a big difference from a 40-year-old Jason Kidd. And like, center-wise, he had like Amari at one point. He had like Robin Lopez at another point. But on the Knicks, on Team USA, he has DeAndre Jordan. He has DeMarcus Cousins. You see what I'm saying? Like, shooting guard-wise, okay? Team USA, he played with Klay Thompson. The New York Knicks, he hasn't had like the top shooting guard. The best that I could possibly tell you that Carmelo Anthony has been was when he was in Denver with Chauncey Billups, J.R. Smith, Kenyon Martin. Now mind you, I'm not trying to say Chauncey Billups is comparable to like a Kyrie Irving, even though we know Chauncey Billups is ill, Mr. Big Shot. But look at the talent back then. He had a point guard who could get penetration, Chauncey Billups. He had a shooting guard, J.R. Smith, who couldn't leave open all the time. He was a streaky shooter, but he couldn't leave open all the time. Then he had a power forward or slash center who got to the basket, get rebounds, do all the dirty work. So that's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. Carmelo Anthony still has the same game. He still pulls up from three in people's faces. He still does the bully ball on a low block. Everything is the same, exact same. The only difference is he's paired up with better talent. When he's paired up with better talent, he can get easier shots because you can't just worry about Melo. You got to worry about Durant, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving. Damn, the list goes on and on. Like, there's so many players that you have to worry about on Team USA. When Carmelo Anthony plays on the New York Knicks, there are not that many players you have to worry about. You just have to worry about shutting Carmelo down. And with the isolation basketball, that's what occurs. And a lot of people are saying, like, well, Melo's a ball stopper, he's this, that, and the third. On Team USA, he's not a ball stopper, is he? He's not that bad of a player, is he? Because he has other talent around him that can give him the ball in easier spots. When he's playing on the Knicks, and I'm just basing this on like the last 3 or 4 years, it's been a struggle because nobody else on the team could command a double team. Amari Stoudemire, at one point he was decent, and then he got hurt over and over again, and then that was it. It was a knee, it was a back. So Melo had no other player that could command in the double team. They had that one good year. They played pretty good with Jason Kidd and everything, but it wasn't going to last because Jason Kidd can't get penetration, and he couldn't guard all those point guards. You remember what Kyrie Irving did to him, man, before LeBron came. Kyrie was over here shamming him and all this other stuff. Kidd couldn't compete anymore. So, that being said, now we're looking at a Carmelo Anthony who's on to me, it's a much improved Knicks team. You have Derrick Rose. He's not the MVP Derrick Rose, but he could penetrate. He could get to the basket. She could shoot a mid-range here and there. He's not a great three-point shooter, but he's a threat. And then you paired him up with Courtney Lee, a shooter like a J.R. Smith back in Denver, who could space the floor and let Melo operate. Then you have Porzingis, who's a wild card like a Kenyon Martin, but to me much more skilled. And then you have a defensive stopper in Joakim Noah. So to me, you're really gonna see this Team USA Melo play like this during the regular season, because he's not asked to bring up the ball. He's not asked to initiate the offense as much anymore. He's not asked to get the ball in awkward spots with like the clock winding down. Now you have a Derrick Rose who can hit a game-winning shot. You know, we saw that in I believe it wasn't last year's playoffs. It was like 2 years ago when Derrick Rose hit that game-winning shot against Cleveland. So now we see those things. So that's great, and I think a lot of people are going to see like there isn't really a big difference. It's just that he's just asked to do different things. He plays a different role. I mean, think about this though. Because the same thing happened with Kobe. When the Lakers dismantled and Shaq went to Miami, the Lakers stank for a long time, and everybody was blaming Kobe. They were saying he takes too many shots, he's a gunner, he's this, that, and the third. But if Kobe wasn't taking those shots and playing that isolation basketball, who was gonna win those games? Who's gonna take those shots? Smush Parker? No. Kwame Brown? No. See what I'm saying? Like, if Melo doesn't play the way he does on the Knicks, they're not even competitive. They're like losing way more than 40 games or whatever. They're losing like 70 games. If Melo has to really, really trust in his teammates to make plays, they're not playmakers. Now they brought in some playmakers like that, not of the caliber of Team USA, but playmakers. So that being said, you'll see that there's no difference. Only thing is the supporting cast, and that's always been the difference for Melo. You give Melo a great supporting cast, and he's gonna do his thing. It's sort of like LeBron James. Like, you give LeBron James a great supporting cast, and she's gonna most likely succeed in getting you a title. See what I'm saying? So that's the point I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen. There is no difference. It's all smoke and mirrors. Melo's consistent. Only thing is our views aren't. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction, where Hoops meets Hoopla.